Hi there guys. Today we're just going to be going through the June 22 Foundation GCSE exam paper, the non-calculator paper. So starting off, circle the answer to 150 divided by 5. That's going to be 30. 15 divided by 5 would be 3, putting our 0 back on for 30. 5 take away 7 would be minus 2. Minus 3 times 3. 3 times 3 is 9. A negative times a positive is a negative, so that would be minus 9. P is double R. Circle the correct formula. So which one of these is saying that P is double R? Well, that one's dividing. That one's adding. That one's subtracting. P is 2 lots of R. P is double R. By rounding each number to the nearest 10, estimate the value of 31 times 18. So 31, let's change that to 30. 18, let's change that to 20. 3 times 2 is 6. And then I've got 2 extra zeros to put on here for 600. In the isosceles triangle, AB is equal to AC. So because it's an isosceles, I know these two sides are the same as each other. The perimeter of the triangle is 22 centimetres. Work out the length of AB. If the whole thing is 22, I can do 22, take away the 4 that I've got here to get 18 centimetres. So 18 centimetres must be the distance for these two lines. And since they're the same, if I do 18 divided by 2, that should give me 9 centimetres. So each length there would be 9 centimetres. After school, Priya will go running, R, do her homework, H, play a video game, V, complete the list of the 6 possible orders in which she could do them. So one's been done for us. So we've got run, homework, video. I'm going to do all the ones that start with run first. So let's have run, video, homework. And then let's do the ones that start with H. So I could have homework, run, video, or homework, video, run. And then I've got the ones that start with V, so I've got video, run, homework, or video, homework, run. Which statement is correct? Tick one box. Right, let's work these out first. So 17 plus 3 is 20. I've got that inequality symbol, and 29 take away 10 must be 19. So is that correct? Is that correct? Or is that one correct? Now with these inequality signs, the big end of the sign points at the big number and the small end of the sign should point at the small number. So it's this one that is correct. Work out 60 divided by 2 plus 4. So BidMass says that I should be doing my divide first. So 60 divided by 2 is 30. Then add my 4 for 34. Now I got the cost of 100 grams worth of cereal is 49p, and for pasta the cost of 100 grams is 14p. Leah buys 400 grams of cereal and 250 grams of pasta. Work out the total cost in pounds. So 400 grams of cereal must be 49p times 4. So for that, actually, I'm going to cheat a bit and do 50p times 4, because that's easier to think about. That would be £2. And then because I was 1 off here, which I've times by 4, I just need to take 4p off that. So £2 minus 4p will give me £1.96. So that's my cereal sorted. Pasta is 14p for 100 grams. I want 2.5 lots of that. Well, 1 lot would be 14, 2 lots would be another 14, and then my half for the 50 grams must be 7. So if I add that together, I've got 4, 8, and 8 add 7 is 15, so 5 carry my 1, 35p. So I now need to add these two together, just being careful with my columns. So I've got £1.96, add 0.35 for my 35p. 6 add 5 is 11, so carry the 1, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So £2.31. Alright, for a set of 5 numbers, the mode is 8, the median is 12. Work out one possible set of the 5 numbers. So if the mode is 8, that's the most common. So let's have 2 of those straight in. The median is 12, so the middle number's 12. So let's put that in the middle. And then as long as these are bigger than 12 and not the same number, I'll be all right. So let's have 13 and 15. Here are the heights in centimetres of some children. Which height is an outlier? So an outlier is normally the one that doesn't fit in, or the one that's the most different to the rest. So I think 159 must be our outlier. Shona has 14 dresses. 50% of these dresses are red, so straight away I'm going to say that's 7 red dresses. She gives 5 of her red dresses to a charity shop, so that'd be her down to 2 red dresses. She buys 1 new red dress, so that'd be 3 red dresses. What percentage of the dresses she has are now red? Right, well, we figured out as we went that she's got 3 red dresses, but out of how many? So she starts with 14. She gives 5 of them away, so that'd be 9 dresses. She buys 1 more, so that'd be 10 dresses. So 3 out of the 10 are red, so that is 30%, because 3 out of 10 is the same as 30 out of 100. Here is a triangle. Work out length of the shortest side divided by length of the longest side. Give your answer as a fraction in its simplest form. Okay, so first, I think these are in mixed units, my shortest side and my longest side. So I'm going to change that one so it's in centimetres. So work out the length of the shortest side divided by the length of the longest side. Answer as a fraction. So that'll be 40 over 120. Simplifying down, both end in a 0, so I can divide through by 10. So 4 over 12, and then 4 goes into both of these, so 1 over 3, 1/3. Right, here is a different triangle. X is equal to 3y. So whatever y is, x is equal to 3 of those. So let's say that's 1 part. And let's say that that's 3 parts. Work out the size of angle y. Okay, so angles in a triangle add up to 180. So if I take away the angle that I know, it'll leave me with what I've got left to find out. So 0 take 2, can't do. 10 take away 2 is 8, 7 take 1 is 6, 0. So I've got 68 degrees to find between these bits. Well, that's worth 1 lot and that's worth 3 lots. So that must be 4 lots altogether. So do 68 divided by 4. 4's into 6 go once with 2 remaining. 4's into 28 go 7. So y would be 17. That's y that I want. So y is 17. Company A and B sell insurance for mobile phones. The table shows monthly costs for 2 types of cover, damage and loss. Work out the difference in monthly cost for the 2 types of cover with company A. So in finding the difference, I'm just doing a subtraction. So that'd be £12.20 subtract £8.65. 0 take 5 I can't do, so 10 take 5 is 5. 1 take 6, no. So 11 take 6. 5, decimal, decimal, decimal. 11 take away 8. £3.55. Ben wants damage cover with company B. How much in total will he pay in 1 year? So damage cover with company B. Damage with company B is £7.25. So we're going to do £7.25. That's per month and he wants it for a year, so times 12. So I had to set that out as £7.25 times 12. So 12 times 7, well 10 times 7 is 70, 2 times 7 is 14, so 12 times 7 is 84. And then I've got 12 lots of 25p. Well, 4 lots would be £1, so 8 lots would be £2, so 12 lots would be £3. So 34, 84, 85, 86, 87, £87. Question 12. Work out this fraction 1. So I'm subtracting fractions, so I want the same bottom numbers. Let's go for 18, because 18 and 3 both fit into 18, so we'll keep this one the same. That one's been times by 6. So do the same to the top. 6. 11 take away 6 is 5. Bottom number stays the same, and I can't simplify it, so I'm leaving it like that. The term-to-term rule for a sequence is multiply by 2. The third term of a sequence is 46. Work out the first term, give your answer as a decimal. So if the third term is 46, the second term must have been half of that, so 23. And then the first term must have been half of that, so half of 23 would be 11.5. A term-to-term rule for a different sequence is subtract k. The first term is 34. The fourth term is 10. So first term, second term, third term, fourth term. Work out the value of k. So that'd be 1 jump, 2 jumps, 3 jumps. So I think my 3k must be equal to the difference between this, so 24. So if I divide through by 3, I'll get that k equals 8. And we can just check that if we want, but does that work? Yeah. Work out the vector that translates shape A to shape B. So I'm going to choose the same corner on both shapes, that bottom right hand corner. So that's moving 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's gone 7 right. So my top number is going to be 7, and this one's coming down 2. So my bottom number is going to be -2 to show that we're going down. In the bag, there are only red discs, blue discs, and green discs. There are 10 red discs. When one disc is picked at random, the probability of red is 1 out of 8. So we know that there are 10. So let's make that top number 10. So if that was 10, I've times by 10 there. So that must be 80. So there's 10 red ones out of 80 discs in total. Probability of blue is 2 out of 5. So again, let's make that bottom number 80. How many 5s make 80? 5 times 16 is 80. So 16 times 2 is 32. So I've got 10 red and 32 blue. So that's 42 in total. So the green ones are the ones that are left over. So 80 take away 42 is 38. Right, here is a graph of y equals -3x. Draw the graph of, y equals 2x plus 1 on the grid, and then work out an approximate solution to when these lines equal each other. So I'll draw a little table. Let's have x's of 0, 1, 2, and 3, so I can put in my x values to get out my y's. Y is equal to 2 lots of x plus 1. So times by 2 add 1 would be 1. Times by 2 add 1 would be 3. Times by 2 add 1 would be 5. And times by 2 add 1 would be 7. So I've got 0, 1, which would be there. 1, 3, which would be there. 2, 5, which would be there, and 3, 7, which would be there. So now I want to join them up with a straight line. Should have got a ruler out earlier, really, so I was ready, shouldn't I? Right, so there's my line of y equals 2x plus 1. If we're looking for where the lines are the same as each other, that's there where they cross over. So if I draw a line down just to help me see it, it's when x is there. So I think that must be 1.2. Good bit of advice if you get a question like this on the exam and you're not sure about drawing the line. Just bang a line on there anywhere, find where they cross over and give that as your answer and you'll still get that mark. Part of the circle is shaded. Circle the name of the shaded part. That is a segment, because it looks like a segment of Terry's chocolate orange. Right, work out that divided by that. Right, so 80 million divided by 200. So that and that will cancel. That and that will cancel. So 8 divided by 2 is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros. So in standard form, that would be 4 times 10 to the power of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Work out 3 to the power of 12 divided by 3 to the power of 7. Give your answer as a whole number. Ooh. Right, so I'll use indices to make this a bit easier. If I'm dividing with indices, I need to subtract those powers. So 12 take away 7 would give me 5, so that's 3 to the power of 5. So I need to work out what 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 is. Now I might be able to make this a bit easier for myself. So 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 3 is 27. So I'm going to say that that makes 27. And that makes 9. So then all I've got to do is 27 times 9. I'm going to squeeze that in down here. 9 times 2 is 18 with 1 0. 9 times 7 is 63. So 180, add 63. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 243. Write the 4 first for some reason. Okay, simplify. 8 times 2 to the power of 6 times 2 to the power of 4. Give your answer as a power of 2. Right, these are already in powers of 2, so I think I just need to sort this bit out. So 8 would be 4 and 2, if I'm doing my prime factor tree. 2's prime. 4 is 2 and 2. So 8 is 2 to the power of 3. And then if I'm multiplying with my indices, I just need to add the powers. So 6 add 4 is 10, add 3 is 2 to the power of 13. In a group of 98 students, 25 study both art and French, 10 study art but do not study French. So that must be them, 10 studying art but not doing French. 41 study French. John draws the Venn diagram to represent information. Make 2 criticisms. All right, well I had to guess that that was the people that study art, don't I? So art and French are not labelled. Well, that's less than 50. That's not going to add up to 98. That doesn't add up to 98, so that's not working correctly. Nice. Okay, circle the letter of the possible sketch of y equals x cubed minus 4. Okay, well, our x squared graphs look like that. So it's not that one, and it's not that one. It's one of these two. It's got minus 4. This one's going through at minus 4. That one's going through at a positive. So it could be that one. In a week, Samir is paid a basic hourly rate for the first 30 hours worked. So that's from there to there, isn't it? An overtime hourly rate for any extra hours work. So that's the little bit there where we're getting steeper, isn't it? So that's a regular pay and that's for overtime pay. The graph shows his pay for working up to 40 hours. Cool. Work out the ratio of his basic hourly rate to his overtime hourly rate. Give your answer in the simplest form. Okay. So his basic hourly rate is this bit here. Now he's earned £450 over the first 30 hours. So £450 divided by 30. Well, that's the same as 45 divided by 3. Make it a bit easier for myself. Set that out in the bus stop. 3's into 4 go once, carry the 1. 3's into 15 go 5. So it's £15 an hour basic. So the overtime, well, they've gone from £450 to £700 there. So what's that? That's an extra 250. 50 up to 500, then 200 up to 700. So that's an extra £250. and that's from 30 hours to 40 hours, so that's over 10 hours. So the overtime rate must be £25. So 15 basic, 25 overtime. Flip back over to where the question actually is. Should have printed it out properly. 15 to 25. So I've got 15 to 25. You can divide both of these through by 5. So I've got 3 to 5. In each box, write a fraction less than 1 to make the correct calculation. So I want something times something to get 3/10. Multiplying fractions is the nice easy one, isn't it? So actually I just want two numbers that multiply to make 3 and two numbers that multiply to make 10. And make sure that it makes less than 1. So, well, 1 and 3, 2 and 5. Nice. In each box, write a decimal less than 1 to make the correct calculation. So something times something equals 0.06. So if I do 0.3 times 0.2, 3 times 2 is 6. One number behind the decimal here, one number behind the decimal here. So that'll give me two numbers behind the decimal in my answer. So 0.3, 0.2. Use a ruler and a compass in this question. So A, B, C, D represents a garden. A tree is to be planted in the garden. The tree will be in the region that is closer to AB, so closer to there than to BC. It's going to be sort of like in this bit here, isn't it? Label the region R where the tree could be planted. Show all of your construction lines. So if we're looking for the bit, I'm going to mark on the bit that's in between AB and BC. I'm going to bisect this angle. So get out my compass. I'm going to put my compass point on B and just do a small starting arc just to go across both lines. And I'm going to make my compass a bit wider. And from each point where I've crossed over on my first arc, so I'm going to draw another arc. So one from that first crossover there. And then I'm going to do one from this crossover here. And then where they've crossed over, X is marking the spot for us. So I'm just going to draw a straight line from my corner through where they've crossed over. So I've bisected that angle. The tree will be in the region that is closer to AB than AC, so in the region AB rather than AC. So let's label that with an R like we've been asked. Here are two shapes, P and Q. 3/4 of a circle with radius 20 centimetres. I'll just write that on there, I like to see it visually. 1/3 of a circle, radius 15. How many times bigger is the area of P than the area of Q? Okay, so let's find the area of this circle. So area is pi r squared. So if that was a whole circle, I'll pretend it is for now, I'd do 20 times 20 times pi, which would give me 400 pi. It's not a whole circle, it's 3/4 of a circle. So if I want 3/4 of 400 pi, divide by the bottom would be 100 pi, times by the top would be 300 pi. So we can call that one 300 pi. This circle, right, let's pretend that's a full circle to start with. So that would be 15 times 15 times pi. Great to know your square numbers. If you don't be afraid of setting it out in the exam. Much rather that we get it right and then we rush and get it wrong. So 100, 225, 225 pi. That wasn't a full circle though, that was 1/3 of a circle. So I want to do 225 pi divided by 3. Let's set this out in the bus stop. So 225 divided by 3. 3's into 2 don't go, carry the 2. 3's into 22 go 7 times with 1 remainder. 3's into 15 go 5 times. So that'd be 75 pi. Let's label it up here so it's nice and clear. How many times bigger is the area of P than the area of Q? So we can call that one 300 pi. We can call that one 75 pi. How many 75s go into 300? Well, 75 would be 1 lot. 2 lots would be 150. So 4 lots would be 300. So it is 4 times bigger. Solve. So I've got a denominator on both sides. So go straight from the question. I'm going to times by 5 to get rid of that denominator. So that'll give me 10w divided by 15 equals 4. Because I've got rid of the divide by 5 by timesing by it. Get rid of this denominator by timesing by 15. So 10w equals 4 times 15 would be 60. So w must equal 6. A solid has a volume 300 centimetre cubed and a density of 2 grams per centimetre cubed. Work out the mass of the solid. All right, the way I think about this is density is how much stuff there is in a given amount of space. So stuff is mass and space is volume, which then gives me my triangle. So mass is on top, density is there, and volume is there. So if I want to find the mass, I cover the m, d is next to v, so I'm going to times these things. So 300 times 2, 600. X to y is 9 to 5. Circle the ratio of 2x over y. Well, if x is 9, 2x must be 18. And y is 5, that must be 5. 18, yeah. Nice. Right, I hope that's helped, guys. Good luck.